start as an example for like you guys do. We're gonna, in this case, I'm gonna show you my beautiful drawing since it's on the board. I can't really hide it anyway. So here's my drawing of the Last Supper. We have Jesus at the head of the table. Obviously he was the central figure, so I went with that. But I chose to focus on both the memorial and the meal portions. In the meal portion, obviously you can see, well, maybe not obviously, this is the cup of wine. And over here we have the loaf of bread. But the memorial portion, to do this in memory of me, we had the people passing the bread and wine. Alright, now to mix things up, since I said I always like to start at the back, and that's not necessarily fair to people in the back of the room, start with Michael this time.
I focused on the meal.
Okay, and how can we tell if you're going to show us the drawing? How would we know that?
Because of the wine and the bread and what the people are saying.
Okay, so we use both the images of the bread and the wine and the words that people are saying. KJ?
I'm not going to show you it, but I focused on the meal, and there was bread, and then they were passing the wine, so yeah.
Okay, so the main focus was the meal, but you even got a little bit into the memorial there. Good.
I focused on all three because I showed the meal, the bread, and the wine, and I showed Jesus saying, "Remember me," and the people are sad because he's sacrificing himself for them.
Very good. So you got all three of them in there. Very good. Last but not least, Caroline?
I have to.
You don't have to show us. You just have to tell us.
I did the meal.
You did the meal? Okay, and how can we tell if you're going to show us your lovely drawing?
They have the bread and wine.
Bread and wine are front and center. Okay, that's all right. So that's one thing to think about, guys. When you think about the Eucharist, it's really easy to see that it was a meal, but it's also that memorial, and that we repeat that action over and over. We do it in memory of Jesus. And also the sacrifice, not only the sacrifice of the bread and wine being used for communion, but also the sacrifice that Jesus made for us. So right now, we're going to switch back to our books. What I'd like to have you do is switch to page 94, please. Caroline, would you read that first paragraph for us on page 94, please?
On the day of Jesus' resurrection, 2 disciples were walking to the village of
Emmaus.
They were very sad about Jesus' death. They had heard about the empty tomb and were concerned as the disciples were talking. A man joined them. It was not the risen Jesus, but the disciples did not recognize him.
Right. Thank you very much. Now, unfortunately, before we have time to go on, we need to make our way over to stewardship this evening. So what I'm going to ask you to do is leave your books open to page 94. We're going to pick up there when we come back. But right now, I'd like everyone to line up quietly at the door, please.